Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for October 21st, Thursday, 3 p.m. Eastern. We'll be having a time for change or a reverse aging call, health call tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern, and we'll have Dr. Russ Newman and Patty McPeak. All of us are enlightened beings in disguise. Every being is born with full access to the highest peak of consciousness. If we look into a baby's eyes, and some of you have, you will see it. The sparkle of their pure, uncluttered, untainted consciousness is there. You can see that there is no time or beliefs in control of their mind. There's just pure essence and awareness. They are a divine, loving presence naturally, and without presence and awareness. So there's just pure presence and awareness. They are a divine, loving presence naturally, without even trying. Their enlightened nature shines through. And this consciousness is in all of us, for we were all once a baby. The very instant we empty out our minds and take a good long look inside ourselves, we will discover something quite amazing. We will realize that we are not this body, not these thoughts, or anything we can imagine with our minds. Who we really are goes beyond thinking, beyond concepts, and beyond the mind. We are infinite and an eternal soul that cannot be burned by fire or wet by water. Expect your every need to be met. Expect the answer to every problem. Expect abundance on every level. Not just really expecting, but knowing. And knowing to grow spiritually. We are not living by human laws. We are miracles, therefore miracles come to us. And we see them take place. We are this forever expanding consciousness. And when we are in a state of pure meditation, completely free from the mind, we instantly start connecting with our inherent enlightened nature. Suddenly, as if from out of nowhere, we experience our true radiant selves with all of its positive life-expanding qualities. Any joyful sensation that we experience by simply being silent affirms who we are, how we are deeply connected to an infinite source of goodness within. Every morning for the next week of your life, I invite you to explore one thing. The very instant that you're awake, before you start to move your body or even open your eyes, take these precious moments to turn your attention inwards and ask this one question. Where is the source of this thought right now coming from? Look deeper inside yourself before your ego can get a grip on you to make you follow its agenda all day. Simply investigate where the source of you is coming from before the whirlwind of thoughts flood your mind. Bring everything to this inquiry and simply remain curious. Do not try to get anywhere. Just remain in a state of curiosity and see what happens. There is a hidden force behind our minds running this grand master show. And this invisible divine energy is very powerful when you connect with it. And when you find it, you'll be able to shape-shift your life in any way you'd like it to be. If our light nature is already here now, complete and whole in itself. Why isn't the entire world filled with an abundance of enlightened beings? There's one little thing called the ego. The mind gets in the way and obscures this pure being. It's like a fish in a fishbowl swimming around, causing all the muck to be stirred up, distorting the clarity in the water. When the fish stops swimming and rests, the muck settles and everything becomes crystal clear. All beings are from the very beginning Buddhas. Hakuin. We're all Buddhas. When we are in love with someone and we look deep into their eyes in that moment, that our hearts are bursting with joy, what do we see? If our mind is crystal clear, we will only experience the loving, eternal, and divine aspects of their enlightened nature. The love frees this cluttered mind so you can see all the way through. By bringing the mind to a complete halt, the illusions of your mind disappear, and you naturally experience the infinite source. This is the secret to discovering the enlightened state. The enlightened state is naturally within each and every one of us, and it appears the moment the mind disappears. Certain negative events will always happen to you to cause you to take a glimpse at a bigger reality. If you can look at them with eyes wide open, you'll always notice one thing. You actually created these challenging and frightening events to give you an experience of coming home. Every day, human suffering has become normal. Every day, human suffering has become normal. This is caused by one basic thing: unconscious thought patterns and habits. Human suffering has become normal. Life is like a wild tiger. You can either lie down and let it lay its paw on your head, or sit on its back and ride it. Ride the wild tiger. One of the most effective ways for any of us to manifest anything in our lives is having true confidence in confidence in ourselves and in the dream we desire to have. When we're feeling great about ourselves, we're sending out a powerful, positive vibe into the world, which comes back to us in the form of amazing opportunities, more abundance, positive relationships. Having self-confidence is like a magic wand in your pocket. You can pull it out whenever you want and feel that you have the power to miraculously manifest anything you can imagine. It just happens in the course of a lifetime that our soul yearns to mature deeply within itself. To do this, it must attract a super challenging situation that will teach us to look deeper inside and find where the source of everlasting confidence comes from. Somebody will get angry at us, become disappointed in us, start neglecting, ignoring, or even physically and emotionally abuse us. If we become identified with the negative experience, we can feel bad about ourselves, the world, and shrink our perception of the amazing beings we all truly are. If we continue for years to identify with the bad feelings and the story around the trauma, we develop a sense of low self-esteem, and the confidence we had within ourselves will weaken. If we've been traumatized in our lives, we are not alone. Most of us have some major form of wounding we are dealing with. We all have the choice in how to deal with it. And this path is what leads us to healing and freedom. The path of creating more confidence in ourselves with practicing, trusting, and loving ourselves all day long. Being gentle with who we are as the more often to love ourselves, the more valuable, lovable, and precious we feel in this world. When we can allow ourselves to feel lovable, we start respecting ourselves and the gifts we have to give to this world. We feel valuable and worthy of more love. We stop thinking about how unlovable we are, or comparing ourselves with others, believing that they are better than you. If we continue to dwell on and focus upon our wounding, only feeling that we are lacking, needing, or feeling not enough in our lives, then we stop having time for loving, approving, appreciating who we are. When self-love is not happening on a daily basis, it opens like the ground for the wound to fester and the lower self-confidence to root itself. If we do not establish a new perception or thinking pattern inside ourselves, we might just live our entire lives believing we are never good enough, and feel as if life is one long hell ride of being dragged from the cradle to the grave. When I let go of who I am, I become what I might be, Lao Tzu. It's good to know that there are two basic types of self-confidence that we can tap into. The first is a transient state of ego confidence that will come and go because it's based in holding on to thoughts which always come and go. The mind attempts to grip firmly onto a strong positive idea about who we are. And then we feel good about us. This strategy will work for a certain measure of time, yet eventually, I am a powerful, confident person will shift to I am weak and helpless, pathetic person, when the great cyclone of life rips through. Whenever we hold too tightly onto any idea about who we are or who we are not, we soon see that life will challenge the strength of this idea. If our ideas about ourselves are flexible, we'll tend to bend when life attempts to break us. The limbs of the large oak tree tend to crack in a big windstorm, while the flexible bamboo tree yields the fierce pressure and cyclone intensity. Eventually, whenever any idea is shaken, cracked, or destroyed about ourselves, the ego comes crashing down, burying itself in the dark valley of insecurity and powerlessness, and then has to rebuild its inner structure again and again and again. There is no use removing doubts one by one. If we clear one doubt, another doubt will arise, and there will be no end of doubts. But if by seeking the doubter is found to be really non-existent, then all doubts will cease. Ramanam Rishi. Second type of confidence is a spiritual confidence, which has nothing to do with ideas, beliefs, identity, or ego. This level of confidence stems from a perpetual discovery of one's sweet, succulent spiritual essence. It is an unveiling of the spiritual truth of who we are, without labels, judgments, masks, or coverings of any kind. Our true spiritual nature is tapped into an infinite source of love, and this love is deeply and eternal. We naturally feel confident about life because we are feeling into the very source of love, which abides at the core of our being. By simply feeling into our deepest core, we find this spiritual connection is there. It is a gentle relaxation, an effortless surrender into our deepest truth without words. There is a divine energy there, a conscious being who is beautiful, brilliant, and incredibly powerful. This naturally sacred being doesn't need to prove itself. Its beaming joy is self-evident and is quiet about how amazing and boundless it is. From this space, there is nobody who needs confidence or fears that someone is lacking confidence. All we see and feel is the shrinking light that we are. And actually, it doesn't shrink, it shines. The small, powerless shadow self, instantly disappears in the essence of the bright light, leaving no sense of separation from light. And the pendulum stops swinging from feeling superior to being inferior. Perhaps the most vital piece of information that will help us remain in a state of perpetual self-confidence is that it is ridiculously easy, truly effortless to experience it. Everlasting confidence is our natural effortless essence and is continuously radiating at the core of our being. We don't have to do anything to entice the sun to shine brighter. It is always already there, shining perfectly, bright enough. The sun is a perfect example of who we are. It is always radiating its light on the world. It's naturally self-effulgent, perfectly warm to bring about life, and simply cannot be improved upon. This is exactly the way we are. Everybody wants to be extraordinary. This is the search of the ego, to be someone who is special, unique, and incomparable. This is the paradox. The more you try to be exceptional, the more ordinary you look because everyone is after extraordinariness. It is such an ordinary desire. The very search to be ordinary is actually extraordinary because rarely does someone want to be a nobody. Rarely does someone want to be a hollow, empty space. Yet, this is really extraordinary because nobody wants it. So when you become ordinary, you actually become extraordinary. Also, the search for higher self-esteem is a highly addictive and dangerous game to play, as we are continually trying to acquire a more improved version of ourselves and are never ultimately satisfied with who we are. The more energy we put into trying to become someone better, the more we miss out on the feeling that we are enough and continue to climb up and fall down the ladder of self-esteem. The more tightly we grip onto the beliefs and perceptions about ourselves, the more rigid, complex, and crackable our self-esteem structure becomes. Eventually, when the big wind of life blows through, every idea we were clinging to is shaken off, cracked, or destroyed. It is by putting less energy and effort into becoming someone who is confident that we create more time to spend in relaxation and enjoying bathing in our spiritual core essence. By simply enjoying this truly relaxed, healing space within, we become unshakable and capable of embracing the greatest storms when they pass through. Ironically, the most solid foundation of confidence of them all is the one which feels connected with the sadness and weakness inside our human selves. We are not avoiding, attached to, or resisting the darkness, yet are simply rooted in the strength we find in our own authenticity. It is through our vulnerability that we find true strength in ourselves, able to remain centered in the most challenging life scenarios. This confidence is the strongest because it is the most flexible, capable of dealing with change and absorbing anything that life throws its way. It's good to know that the opposite of confidence is doubt, fear, hesitation, uncertainty, and cowardice. Each of these experiences is a byproduct of a light, tight, tense, emotional, fear-based memory that is stored inside the body. The more integrated you become with the tension and the relaxation of the tension, your entire being finds the deepest place of relaxation, and confidence comes pouring through. You can see how essential it is to make time in your life to slow down from the racing mind and practice relaxing into each experience, whether good or bad. Use your breath as a vehicle to take you deeper inside, to touch everything within you and eventually reach your innermost spiritual core. Play with the exploration, feeling the intimate spiritual connection you already have within yourself. Very soon, you will find this simple, sweet inquiry transforms your entire life. The techniques of everlasting self-confidence. They're basically golden secrets, transforming a lifelong battle with self-esteem into one that is overflowing in a sea of self-trust, gratitude, and self-love. And if you find it to work for yourselves, share it with others. The thread of breath and emotional merging, randomly 5 to 10 times a day. Feel into your connection with your breath and relax. Relax deeply into it for at least 3 to 5 minutes. Feel into each inhalation and exhalation, expanding the belly and chest, allowing yourself to reach in and touch the deepest levels of tension inside. Open up the reservoirs to let your good and bad feelings come flooding in. With each breath, feel into the emotional peak and valley that currently exists in your life. Let yourself be massaged by the breath, bringing up the greatest pain and sadness inside, and let them merge with your deepest joy and bliss. Breath into them, both, so they merge and dissolve into one energy. Let this mixed pool of energy dissolve back into your spiritual essence, the source of pure consciousness itself, where it came from. You can imagine you are piercing the memories of your past with one thread of consciousness using your breath. The breath will push the thread, binding the feelings and memories together, melting and melding them as one. As you feel through to the core of these feelings, they will change, and you will naturally begin to relax deeper and discover a state of peace and stillness inside. Imagine you are rooting yourself internally in this space of stillness and deep peace. Practice living from this space as much as possible throughout your day. The breath is our greatest gateway to freedom. The more awareness we can create around our breath, welcoming its life-giving and receiving movements, the more we can relax deeper inside and trust the divine guidance of this life. As this trust reaches into our innermost core, we simply let go of the traumas that run our lives and find true emotional healing inside. It is from simply following and feeling into the breath that we retain our body to relax and can start connecting with the more spiritual aspects of our being. From this space, being able to fully relax into our own body, a genuine, confident state automatically takes over. Find what makes you smile. If you want a little burst of confidence right now, think about what puts a smile on your face. First thing in the morning, whatever it is, focus on it. Imagine that it is happening to you right now. Let that good feeling come flooding in and show up in your face. Then let it flood all throughout your body. Confident people are not afraid to smile. They are full of real smiles. When you start practicing your outer smile, you begin accessing your real inner smile, the part that is truly happy inside you. Then there is no reason to ever fake a smile in the world again. So you let your true inner smile come out and be displayed on your face this week. Let those happy feelings reach into the parts of your body that really need it. This simple technique will instantly help you to feel happy inside, which breeds a solid state of inner peace, so you can access true confidence at any time. And be 100% authentic, truthful, and real with everyone. People who feel insecure or powerless in this life are usually overly occupied with hiding how they truly feel. A truly confident being is unconcerned about the good and bad opinions of others. He or she is practicing authenticity because it feels good to be real. It simply feels liberating to not have to hide. And you can stop micromanaging life to be a particular way. When we have zero fear about what others might think or say, we become naturally authentic, real, relaxed, and grounded in our spiritual nature. The more that this authentic expression becomes a habit and our home base, then everything that is false and insecure will eventually fall away. The authentic being is one who has the courage to reveal whatever they cannot talk about. There is always this movement towards a deeper sharing, even if they are feeling insecure about something. The vulnerability brings out an even deeper confidence from within. An authentic being knows that it's okay to feel pain, express hard emotion, and understands that suffering is the greatest cause of suffering. When we take the risk to be real, this truth-revealing energy bonds people together, eliminating the need for superficial games which keep people locked up in their ego. We can find the sweetest joy surfaces naturally from the most simple expression of our authenticity. You practice becoming very silent and still. When you sit very, very, very still, like a solid, silent statue, randomly, for a few minutes every day, not moving at all, everything in your life will start to become crystal clear. As the busy beings that we are, it may not come easy at first to learn how to meditate and do absolutely nothing. Yet within this stiffness and stillness and silence, there exists such a tremendous freedom. You instantly find the courage to do whatever you want in this life. And this allows the adult in you to be childlike and playful again. In total silence, you get in touch with the spiritual core of you, and you discover the naturally confident and charismatic person you truly are inside. By quieting your mind chatter, you let go of all efforting, especially trying to be confident. You start to sink deeper into your all-expansive, infinite spiritual nature. Here you engage with everyone in life from a divine perspective, seeing the spiritual essence within them, and thus life begins meeting you on the same level. So my invitation is to commit to sit in total silence for at least 5 to 10 minutes a day. Eventually, the mind will get rooted and become quieter inside with practice. The more often you sit still, the more clear the mind will get, and you will see who and what you truly are, as well as where you are going in your life. From this space, you are more effective in the decision and actions you choose throughout the day. Living your life from this silent space, you will begin feeling more guided, connected, and aligned with the mysterious unfolding of the universe within you. Success is a journey, not a destination. Half the fun is getting there, Gita Berlin. So my invitation here is much bigger than taking on a perpetual self-esteem project that is never fully satisfied with the end result. I want you to realize the truth of who you are. I want you to see this spiritual being inside you who is all-powerful, deeply eternal loving, and free from all doubt, insecurity, and fear. Through following these 4 steps I just shared every day, you will become the number one priority. You will become the number one priority in your life and discover how easy it was to become a naturally confident being again. Take the risk now to take on this enlightening approach by opening yourself up and on an entirely new dimension to new sources of confidence inside you. Life becomes a truly magical experience. Misery does not exist in reality, but only in mere imagination. Trigonometry. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted. I'm sure we all are. And the first thing that we ever do is relax our bodies. Now, you may think when you wake up in the morning that your body's relaxed. You'd be surprised. It kind of feels that way, doesn't it? Sometimes you wake up in the morning and you feel like you've been on a long trip. And that's not untrue. Other times you wake up and you feel like you've never rested. You probably left the body and stayed out too long. But it is all about relaxing. It's when we open up. When we relax, we open up. And I mean relaxing naturally. Not through drugs or alcohol or anything. Just naturally. And when you relax, you start to realize how wonderful your life is. How every speck of it is spectacular. How nothing is real boring. The only reason that people have boring lives is because they deem them to be boring. So how do we relax the body? Well, we know we're not the body. We are not the name, we are not the personality, and we are not the character. So you know the body is a super magnet, and it attracts everything. None of us are exempt from it, because a lot of times we aren't even consciously aware that we are attracting anything. And then we're so used to creating, and even though we don't know we're creating. We cannot not create. I mean, it's what we do. It's our makeup. When we know this, and we sit still every day, for a few minutes a day, then it's released. We can identify it. There's no such thing as embarrassment with ourselves. We start realizing, what the heck am I carrying all this for? Why am I spending my energy and time on this? This is a lower vibrational frequency. What the heck am I doing? I don't need to do this. But you do it lovingly and caringly with yourself. Softly. And you say, okay, there's no reason I need to carry them, then they're gone. I dismiss them. And they're gone. You surrender. And what happens is that when you surrender, you're not quitting. All right? You're not giving up. You're surrendering. You're not fighting things about yourself. You surrender to them. I surrender to my fears. This fear, this fear, this fear, this fear. I surrender to my worries. This worry, that worry, this worry, that worry. Even if it doesn't feel right, okay? Even if you feel uncomfortable doing that, keep doing it. Believe me, it will take effect. And whenever they come in, face them, dismiss them. And whenever your ego comes in, you say, ego, you're not in charge here. And mind, neither are you. I love you, but you're not in charge here. And watch what happens. You may have to do, sometimes some days go by, you may have to do it 100 times a day. Our whole point is to keep the body as relaxed as possible. When this vessel that we're in is relaxed, we're opened up to so many different things, wonderful things. We move with ease. We're not cluttered. You know, we don't drag a ball and chain around each ankle and carry a yoke over our shoulders. And some of us do, though. And everything changes. See, the point is to relax the body so that you can start to understand really who and what you are. And that the universe starts responding by sending you what you truly desire. And you're not in the way anymore of it. You don't fight it. You just let it be. This is the life that we came here to experience. Not constant worry, stress, and fear, and anxiety. That's all because our ego minds do that to us, when they should be doing the opposite, doing things for us, not to us. So you'll know when the body relaxes, because you'll feel light. And you'll be focused on your breath. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Focusing on the breath, it's super powerful. And when you do this, when you focus on the breath, you're moving into the now. You are in the now. You are literally in the now. And the now stills the ego and mind and subconscious mind, which means you leave them alone. See, you don't interact with them anymore. You have left them alone. That's what happens when you move into being silent, still. And when you do that, you become the watcher and not the judger. You watch the ego mind so that you learn how to master them. Only you can do that. Nothing outside you is going to do it for you. And then you begin to embrace the God that you are. And the body's just totally loose, relaxed, not thinking, the mind chatter's gone. The noise, so to speak, is gone. And then you begin to discover that you're the love that you've been seeking outside yourself your whole life. You're the love that you have been seeking outside yourself your whole life. And when we discover that we are not the body, we are not the personality, the character, the name, and we know that we're the God, the soul within the body. So the God flows through the body. And we can see in these bodies that from the tailbone to the top of the head, we see these lights. And we'll say there's 7 of them. And these lights are known as chakras, which are wheels. Chakra means wheel, so wheels of light. And these are the conduits, these are etheric energy, spiritual energy, that's what we are. So you can't pick these up and play with them. So the spiritual energy that we flow through is the gods that we are in the body. And so as we flow through these bodies, we know these bodies right down to the quantum quark. We know every tissue, every vibratory frequency, everything. Doesn't it make sense that eventually we will learn how to heal these bodies? And some people already have done that. Now picture 3 pads in front of you. One in the center really looks brand new, pristine, shimmering golden, rainbow colors. And then the one on the left, one on the right. One on the left is the past, one on the right is the future. You notice that those, they're pretty worn. They don't have as much of the sparkle or shine as the center one does, the now. So a lot of us will go in the past because we reminisce and we have memories. Memories are great. We visit them, we reminisce, and then we move on. Okay? We don't stay there. And some people stay there. They'll go up into that library in their subconscious mind. They'll just sit there forever, reminiscing and going over past experiences day in and day out. And what happens is that those people will stay there so long that they will take that past, they will bring it into a future that doesn't exist, they will create that future from that past, and they will relive that past in that future. And this is why anybody does that, is you hear people and they'll say, whatever we do, we always end up in the same place. What is up with that? And then those of us, all of us, we all do this. We'll go into a future that doesn't exist because we're creating a future in the now. So we go into the future that doesn't exist, and we wander because we ask ourselves, well, when is this going to happen for me? How come this isn't happening? I'm really getting frustrated because this was supposed to happen and it didn't happen. When am I going to get the new job? When am I going to start making more money? When am I going to be able to live the life I want to live? When am I going to be healthier? See, it's just perpetual. So how do we stay in the now? Because we have tens of millions of programmed thoughts running by us like clouds in the sky. How do we stay in the now? And I'm sure you've all experienced this where you're focused on something, right? And you're in that zone, you're in the now. And then all of a sudden you feel it's like you're lifted out into another thought somewhere or group of thoughts. This is when it's imperative to understand, to be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself, and then stay into deep, eternal gratitude 24/7, no matter what's going on around you. And remember, you're in the beautiful void. When you still that body and you leave the mind and ego and subconscious mind alone, you are in the beautiful void. And you can look outside that void and you can watch the storm raging around it. And you can either step into that storm or stay in the void. You're not detached. You just don't care to participate in that storm. You're curious, but yet you say, not interested in participating in that storm. So every time that you find yourself wandering off in thoughts that aren't yours, focus on your breath, and 3,000% of the time you'll be in the now. The breath is divine and magical. It's divine positive energy because the soul comes in, powers the body. Everything starts up. The lungs produce the breathing, the breath. And that sustains the physical body that the God is in. Divine positive energy. Super powerful, the breath. Now, we also know that those of us who are consciously aware that we're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, know that the soul enters the body, powers the body. The soul is the heaven, body's the earth, heaven on earth, and we are aware that every step we take, we are literally creating paradise. Our frequency spreads. It expands. Deep eternal love, gratitude, and peace spreads. It affects millions. And you also know that you're shining your light, which is love, which is gratitude and peace, which is what we're all made of. So this love just floods the planet. It floods everyone. All life, the highest supreme value in the universe. It floods everyone and everything 24/7. You want to feel it? Stay in the heart mind. You'll feel it 24/7. Total bliss. Now we know that there are parts of ourselves, parts of the gods that we are, that are unconscious. They're asleep. You can't wake them. They determine when they wake. They're with us, but they don't participate in these meditations because they're asleep. Then we have the other parts of us, the gods that we are, that are awake, consciously aware to a certain extent. This is where we connect. It doesn't matter if they're 3 billion light years away, they're here. So this is all the light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. This is the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes. This is the ascended masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Christ, El Moria, Abundancia, Pel, Thoth, Yahweh, Yeshua. This includes all the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath earth. All of our loved ones who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. All the off-worlders, all the galactics, the celestials. And in this planet, all light energy beings that we don't see. Because of our eyes, we only see 1% of what is. So, as they flood, in shapes, color, sizes, forms, configurations, we don't see them. But we're familiar with a small group of them. Fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the trolls, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur. Celestials, off-worlders, and galactics. And understand all of these numbers are in the gigaplexes. So all of these light energy beings are coming in gigaplexes, consciously aware, from every direction. One gigaplex fills this universe with not even 1 inch of sacred space to spare. They come in trillions of gigaplexes from trillions of universes from every direction. Now, over 1,000 species travel through the solar system every day. Trillions throughout the universes every day. We're familiar with a smidgen. Pleiadians, Sirians, Arcturians, Andromedans, feline Zeta Reticuli, Anunnaki, Nords, Graves, Draco, Reptilian, Golden Pyramid, Abia. Now, this particular group has been assisting us in our evolution, enlightenment, ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. The archangels, they're a different civilization than we are. They vibrate at a different frequency than we do. We don't see them like we see each other. But we do meet with them more often than we're aware of. And when we meet with them, it's not necessarily you go, oh, look, it's an angel. It is mostly afterwards, after you've had the conversation, after you've had the interaction. It dawns on you. It truly does. It just you realize that, wait a minute, that was an angel. And you feel bliss. And they all have the same message. It's just that it is delivered in so many different ways. So many different ways. And it is, isn't it absolutely magna glorious, stupendous, spectacular to be alive in these bodies? To taste, to touch, to see, to smell, to breathe. It's phenomenal. And that's bliss. Now, they can surround any one of us at any one time in the tens of thousands or tens of millions. Because of their vibrational frequency, they can hold a large number in a small area. You want them to surround you? Ask them. They will. That's bliss. The ascended masters have mastered ascending and mastered a physical. They've mastered ascension in the physical and out of physical and into pure consciousness, God form. We have ascended into physical. We are mastering physical. We are creating our experiences to perfect our creation. And along the way, we just may discover that we are the light. Period. We are the God force, love, light, energy that's housed in these bodies. When we leave these bodies, we know that we don't follow the light. We are the light. The only time you follow the light is because you still don't know who and what you are. So we're all gathered, arm in arm, hand in hand, full compassion, no non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. We're all one, and we're all God, and we're all love. And our God force, love, light, energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. We immediately form a circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth Gaia area in this now. Excuse me. This circle of light emanates, this light emanates from the God force, love, light, energy within each and every single one of us. It is the God source. It is the kingdom of God. This is pure, deep, eternal love. It's flooding all of us. It's flooding everything, all life, the highest supreme value in the universe, non-stop, eternally. And we begin to ascend above the planet. We're immediately met with massive ocean of glitter. This is like a ballroom ball, a mirrored ball, but it's a trillion times more intense, and it's trillions of times larger, and it's reflecting. It looks like a laser light show, and it's reflecting light at such a speed that it just turns into a multicolored light. And so we look at the reflective points, and we focus on those, and we see that they're tiny little, perfectly etched microscopic mirrors. So we go into them, and we discover that all of us are learning and teaching and learning, each with each other. We're doing one or the other or both. Always. All life, no matter what it's housed, how it's housed. Doesn't matter if it's a leaf in a tree, a branch, a bug, a squirrel. It could be anything. It's just that we're so caught up in the physical, in the ego mind, that we hardly ever spend time watching parts of ourselves as the gods we are exist. We continue to ascend above the planet. We immediately met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is a column of light that reminds us all that we created, that we are the power of healing. Then we're met with the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is a column of light that reminds us all that we created, of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. We are then met with the white fire. This is a column of light that we created that reminds us all that from head to toe, inside and out, we are protected 24/7 eternally. And this light that's protecting us, this white light fire armor, way beyond anything of armor on this planet, emanates from the God force, love, light, energy, which is in each and every single one of us, which we are discovering. Nothing can harm us. It does not wane. It does not lose its strength. It cannot be manipulated. overpowered, nothing. Any lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies know this. They stay away because if they come close enough, they will be vaporized. No demon possession, no attachments, no lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies, invasions. Ever. Yet, only you have the power that if you decide to lower your vibrational frequency low enough, consciously or unconsciously, through greed, anger, fear, hatred, envy, revenge, hurriedness, you will create a breach in your white fire armor, enough so to allow lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. Then anything's possible. Demon attachment, possession, lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies, endless. Now, if you do decide to do this, you're immediately met with a double column of light. We created this double column of light to remind us all that the first one we can bring in is the purple transmuting flame. We can bring this in and we can transmute all of the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance, sending them to pure consciousness where they're no more. The second part of this column of light is the violet ray. This reminds us all that we created, that we can bring in the violet ray right behind the purple transmuting flame. We can cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, restoring our vibrational harmony of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest, deepest, the purest of the purest, purest, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. We are then met with the golden, white, pink light. This is the column of light that we created that reminds us all that the gods within these bodies, of which we are the sun, the sunlight, the rain, the rainbows, the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams, the trees, the forests, the mountains, all the animals. It is us. So the next time that you see or view a sunset or sunrise or rainbow or a starlit night sky, it is you, the God within that body. You're the divine perfection. You're the beauty. You're the majesty. So when you see something that draws your attention, you'll look at it and you'll say, that is part of me, the God that I am within this body. We continue to ascend above the planet. Some of us step outside our physical form, hover effortlessly above it if we're carrying physical form. Why do we do this? Because we can. We immediately come in full contact with this massive crystalline light tower. We created it. It's larger than the solar system and beyond. In the center of the column, we see this oblong sphere. In the center of the sphere, we see this golden white ball of light. It is surrounded by numerous rings of multicolored light. And we notice that they're all sending massive mist, sparkling, reflecting. Looks almost like it's electrified, and it absorbs into all of us, in through the heart, and it's like a warm embrace that never ends. And the golden white bowl of light is the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest, deepest, and the purest of the purest, purest. Eternal love. Then comes gratitude. Then comes peace, well-being, great wealth. gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, tranquility, benevolence, great prosperity, great abundance. It's endless. And it is us. It's the gods within these bodies. It is a reflection of who and what we are. At the top of the column, we designed it so the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees, as it's doing right now, 24/7. This golden ocean is the highest of the deepest, purest love. It's flooding us all. Feel this. All of this that's happening every second on this planet and with all of us. The Great Awakening. Now, we are drops of this golden ocean. We also hold the essence of this golden ocean. Golden ocean, the drops of the golden ocean. And the only illusion is separation. We see our meditative sphere, it says center circle. We all created this sphere, pushing 4 years ago, moving towards 4 years ago, with over 1,600 meditations in perpetual motion. These meditations don't die. They don't weaken or dissipate. They do the opposite. They continue to intensify and they continue to expand. This is the greatest of the highest intent. And it's flooding us all of us gathered, all the gods in these bodies, all the vessels that we are inhabiting, all together, all unified, knowing of who and what we are, that we're all one as the gods that we are. And we're bathing this planet. We're bathing all life, the highest supreme value in the universe. This affects everywhere. This is a ripple effect throughout the universe. Do you feel it? Through the heart-mind. Where in your life are you an unconscious doing machine? If so, then where are you a conscious being? I'll join you in meditation and return to close this out. Take an easy breath in through the nose and an easy breath out through the mouth. Move easily and slowly. Quantum physicists have now proven that the universe is a holographic field of energy, matter, and consciousness. With your mind and body as a universal hologram containing the entire field, at last, they've proven that the whole is contained within its parts. It may be good to know this, or even better, to remember this, because someday, all of us may want to sit down and explore this amazing universe out there. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night. We will return here tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern, Friday, October 22nd, 2021, at 9 p.m. Friday for the Reverse Aging Health Course.